All right, good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. The Franchise and Concession Review Committee public meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor.
Here.
Office of Mayor.
Here.
Controller.
Here.
Corporation Counsel.
Here.
Office of Management and Budget.
Here.
President Borough of the Bronx. President Borough of Brooklyn.
Here.
President Borough of Manhattan.
Here.
President Borough of Queens.
Here.
President Borough of Staten Island.
Here.
Will the clerk please call the first calendar item?
New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, calendar item 1. In the matter of the intent to seek Franchise and Concession Review Committee approval to utilize a different procedure, pursuant to Section 1-16 of the Concession Rules of the City of New York, to authorize the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation to enter into an amendment to the existing license agreement between Parks and Statute Cruises LLC for the operation of 3 landing slips at the Battery for the purposes of embarking and discharging passengers on a regular schedule in the operation of passenger ferries between the Battery and Liberty and Ellis Islands, embarking and discharging passengers of vessels on sightseeing cruises and other ferry operations, which may include but are not limited to ferry service to Governor's Island and day and night charter of vessels owned, operated, or chartered by Statute Cruises LLC. Please be advised that at the request of the agency, this item will be held over to the March 14, 2018 FCRC public meeting, which will take place on the 14th floor auditorium at 2 Lafayette Street, Manhattan, at 2:30 p.m. Any changes to the schedule, which will result in a special public meeting being scheduled prior to the March 14, 2018 FCRC public meeting, will be noticed in the city record and as required by Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
Thanks. Will the clerk please call the second calendar item?
New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, calendar item for 2. In the matter of the intent to seek Franchise and Concession Review Committee approval to utilize a different procedure, pursuant to Section 1-16 of the Concession Rules of the City of New York, to authorize the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation to negotiate a sole source license agreement with Brick Arts Media BKL YM Inc. regarding the operation and maintenance of a food, beverage, and merchandise concession related to the presentation of live events at the Prospect Park Bandshell in Brooklyn. A proposed resolution was submitted relative thereto, and the resolution is calendared for adoption.
Would any member like to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
Yes, thank you. We very much appreciate the fine work that Brick Arts has provided to the community and the residents of Brooklyn and New York City over the past several decades. We support or intend to support the proposal to negotiate an agreement with Brick Arts regarding a food, beverage, and merchandise concession related to the presentation of live events at the Prospect Park Bandshell. We understand from Parks that Brick Arts' maintenance responsibilities associated with the Bandshell do not overlap with Prospect Park Alliance's obligations under their agreement with the city, and we request that in the final agreement negotiated between Brick Arts and the city regarding food, beverage, and merchandise concession at Prospect Park, that they continue to ensure that Brick Arts' permitted expenses are not for the same services that any other entity is required to provide under a separate agreement with the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other statements? If not, will a member please make a motion to move this item?
So moved.
Will another member please second the motion?
Second.
Will the clerk please take the vote?
Mayor.
Yes.
Office of Mayor.
Yes.
Controller.
Yes.
Corporation Counsel.
Yes.
Office of Management and Budget.
Yes.
And on behalf of the Borough President, President Borough of Brooklyn,
Yes.
calendar item for 2 resolution is adopted.
Will the clerk please call the third calendar item?
New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, calendar item number 3. In the matter of the intent to seek Franchise and Concession Review Committee approval, pursuant to Section 1-05 of the Concession Rules of the City of New York, to unanimously approve and authorize the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation to utilize a different procedure, pursuant to Section 1-16 of the Concession Rules of the City of New York, to negotiate an amendment to the existing license agreement with Randall's Island Sports Foundation, now known as Randall Islands Park Alliance, Inc., and Island Tennis LP, DBA Sport Time, now known as Sport Time Clubs LLC, for the construction, operation, maintenance, and management of a year-round tennis facility at Randall's Island Park in Manhattan. Please be advised that at the request of the agency, this item will be held over to the March 14th, 2018 FCRC public meeting, which will take place in the 14th floor auditorium at 2 Lafayette Street, Manhattan, at 2:30 p.m. Any changes to the schedule, which will result in a special public meeting being scheduled prior to the March 14, 2018 FCRC public meeting, will be noticed in the city record and as required by Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law. We ask that the reporter make the entire public meeting agenda, which was made publicly available and distributed at this meeting, part of the final record of this proceeding. That completes the calendar.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.